Hello, everyone. Welcome back to meditation class. Today we have a special guest with us. There's also another dog here too. Can you see her? Dusty. My parents got a puppy, and I'm at my house. I'm babysitting the dogs overnight tonight because they are doing an event with their friends. So I am babysitting. So I am hoping they'll behave. It's nighttime, so I was waiting for them to kind of go to sleep. But she is so cute. They just got her maybe a little bit earlier this month, a couple weeks ago, a month ago, or something like that. So we are bonding, and she's going to be here for meditation class. And yeah, I'm just excited. But tonight we're going to be doing, and that's why I'm in my room, because I want her to just chill and sleep and not be freaked out. So hopefully she'll behave. And yeah, I wish you guys could just watch her sleep. She's so cute. She's very little. Anyway, enough puffy talk. Tonight is day 17 of the Activate Meditation Challenge. So I'm Grace. I've been hosting a meditation series, a meditation challenge this month throughout December 2022, if you're watching this in real time. And if you're just starting with this practice, you can feel free to hop in at this meditation tonight, or you can always check out the playlist. There's a playlist of all the meditations so far called Activate. It should be linked at the end of this video, but if not, it's just on my main page. Yeah. So the meditations do build upon each other, but again, you can just hop in at any time, or you can just do the ones you feel called to. Take this as your own, your own guidance as far as how you want to use these meditations throughout the challenge. But yeah, I'm excited. So, we have been working on intuitive senses, psychic senses, and then we got into some energy body stuff. And then last night we did kind of just an integration meditation, doing a little body scan, check in, just relax and kind of tune in, check in before we move on to some of these more deeper meditations. And tonight we're going to be doing specifically a Reiki meditation. This is called the Holy Love 3 experience. So this is a holy fire Reiki meditation, but I thought it would be a really good way for us to kind of ease into the idea of a journey. This is a pretty short, maybe 15-20 minutes meditation. And some of you guys who have worked with me before might have done this meditation, or if you've done Holy Fire classes with me or with anyone else, then you are familiar with this meditation. But for those who aren't, I'll go into what it means and what the idea behind it is in a moment. But for the practice tonight, this is going to be something where you're going to be relaxing. So with journey meditations, typically it's something where you're going to be lying down, but you could stay seated. But I think the best way to do it is if you could be on a yoga mat or on the ground, lying down on the ground with like a pillow underneath your head, maybe a blanket on top of you to be warm. You can do it in your bed, but I feel like oftentimes when we do stuff in our bed, we fall asleep. And with the journey meditation, it's fine if you fall asleep. Like, we're going to be practicing and you're building upon it, and it's okay. You can go back and do it again. And I've said all these things throughout the challenge. Um, so don't worry about it. But I find with a journey meditation, we really do want to be like lucid, kind of. We want to be, allowing things to come into our inner experience, just like a dream, but we are awake. And sometimes we need to experience that subconsciously. So some of you might fall asleep tonight while you're doing this practice. And again, totally okay. Um, but when we are working on learning the journey practice and when we get into stuff with like Akashic records, we really want to be aware and cognizant because how else are we going to remember what happened? And of course, we don't always have to remember to receive the healing. Things can happen in our dream state, things can happen in our subconscious state, and those can be amazing, powerful, profound experiences. And we don't necessarily need to know or remember them for it to be important. But I think that's something that's very interesting about this kind of practice is learning to be aware and awake and cognizant within the like intuitive flow. I don't know. I was gonna say intuitive realms, but like yeah, the shamanic realms within the meditative state, I guess is a good word for it. But yeah, that's kind of our intention. And for those who are interested in stuff along terms of the psychic development route that we've been also working on, and doing like readings and getting information in that way and working on downloads and working on being able to decipher that information that you're receiving. It's very, I think, powerful and helpful to do this kind of meditation to begin to see how you personally navigate within those, yeah, psychic spaces, intuitive realms, like I just mentioned. Um, how do you perceive, as we've talked about throughout the challenge? Do you see things clairvoyantly in your mind's eye, imagine them? Um, do you feel sensations in your body, feel emotions? Do you know, just know, clear cognizance? You just get it. You just know the answers. You just know information. You just know things before they happen. Um, or clear audience, you hear things, whether that's an outside source or within your own inner um, monologue. And clear audience is kind of sometimes hard to navigate because oftentimes that voice does come in your own thoughts, in your own voice. So it's not always just like an outside voice. For it's oftentimes in your own voice. So that gets kind of confusing. But we'll talk more about that. And yeah, so tonight we're going to be doing this Holy Fire Reiki meditation. So, this again, you're just going to be doing your best to stay cognizant and stay aware and kind of do your best to follow along, as we've mentioned throughout the challenge. Follow along with the words I am describing. Um, and yeah, this is going to be kind of like a good way to introduce a journey. So, a journey can be done so many ways. So, I'll just briefly explain that and then I'll explain like specifically the meditation we're doing tonight, and then we'll get into practice. Um, so, basically, a journey can be done so many different ways, and we'll go over different types. And this is an endless subject. So, um, it could be way more than just what we're going to cover in this challenge, but ways that we can access these shamanic spaces, intuitive spaces, subconscious spaces in the journey style meditation is through like doorways, through portals. So we're going from the awareness here, which is like the middle world in shamanic sense, like this is the 3D world where things are happening in physical space. And then there's the upper world, which is more like ethereal realms. And then the lower world, which is more like plants, animals, ancestors, things like that. Um, so we can access both the upper world and the lower world. The Holy Fire Reiki meditation we're going to be doing tonight is not specifically a journey meditation, but it is kind of an example of the structure of what that would look like, of imagining a scene in your mind, and then you go into a kind of quiet, relaxed state and have your own inner experience. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. So there's a couple different ways to do it is going through portals and doorways. So one way to do that is going through nature. So tonight we're going to be imagining a scene like you're walking through the woods, and then in certain meditations it's almost like you go through something where you walk up a hill, or you walk down a stream, or you walk to the ocean. It's kind of like a you're going from one place to the next, and when you go to the next place you're able to then access some of these more astral spaces. So then from there you want to open up a doorway. So we can do that through imagining like um of a window or a doorway, or a trail that you're walking down, or it could be something like we did in one of the other meditations with the um what was it, like the Ferris wheel kind of thing that we did, oh, the slides thing that we did. um there's so many different ways that you can access it, but it's like imagining you're going from one place to the next. So oftentimes that's done through, like in hypnosis, that's done through a staircase. Like imagine you're walking down a staircase. So there's many different ways to do it. But yeah, tonight's kind of an example of a structure of what that would look like. So in the Reiki meditations from the Holy Fire Reiki like manual that we teach, they that we use in our classes, they use that structure of like going down a trail, and then it takes you to another place, and then from there we have the experience with the Reiki. So in journeys oftentimes we're asking a question, so we're having the experience bring us the information. So we'll talk more about that in further videos. But tonight our intention is the Holy Love 3 meditation. So rather than asking a question, this is kind of our intention for our experiences. And I think this is a good place to begin because it's at the beginning. And we'll talk about that in a second. But we're going to be doing some inner child healing and focusing on some of that in the next few meditations, and then going into some past life stuff and the Akashic records. So it's going to be very beautiful. But this is going to be a beautiful place for us to begin before we get into some of the stuff in, like 3 to 5 to 10 years old, what we think about our childhood. This is going to be even before that. So in the Holy Love 3 meditation, we're focusing on the and I'll read to you guys the exact description in a second from the book, but we're focusing on the time and the period for all of us in between conception and birth, and a little bit after birth. And then also, it could be if you've had children, this could be something that happened during that process. Um, of you conceiving the child and you giving birth, or other experiences you've had with pregnancy, um whether you have the child now or not. Like, there could be experiences in that are looking to be healed, whether that's emotionally or physically. Even if you don't have like a traumatic horrible birth experience, it's still a pretty fucking crazy experience to give child birth. And I haven't had a child in this lifetime, so I don't, I can't truly say. But from what I hear, it's pretty freaking crazy. And so it's including that time of the whole experience of um gestation. Is that the right word for it? When the child is in the womb. So it could be your child if you are a mother or a parent. Um, because this could go for that experience even if you are like not the one carrying the child. um but then it's also your experience when you were in, pre-birth, coming to the womb, and then being in there, all that experience, what was happening with your family at the time, what was happening with your mother at the time, what was her physical experience like, what was her emotional experience like, what was the climate and around her experience, whether that's like outwardly in the whole world, like where they lived and everything like that, and then also within the family, within their parents. And then if you think about more in depth, like ideas about like intergenerational stuff, like our cells were within our grandmother at one point, like, we're all connected. There's so much interesting science around this, but you can think about that as well. Like when your mother was born, like what was her experience through the birthing process. So it's kind of like an ancestral healing type of meditation, and I think that's going to be a beautiful place for us to start. So again, everyone's going to have their own experience, and it's really just going to be focusing on that simple journey of us visualizing nature, and then we're going to go into some quiet time, and you're going to have your experience. And some of you might have very conscious stuff come up in your mind. You're like, oh, I have a memory. Some of you might not. Some of you, again, might drift or think about other things, or you have random images come into your mind. Like everyone's going to experience it differently. And maybe you won't feel anything at all. And that's totally okay. And sometimes it happens on, yeah, a very subconscious level. And Reiki flows to us all differently. So again, some people will have physical sensations, some people will not. But I give my whole spiel every time just in case people, again, are just hopping into this meditation. So at one point, I'm going to go through all these meditations from the Activate Challenge and write better descriptions so you guys know what's going on. And at that point, I'm also going to put timestamps for all of these. So if people want to go back and just do the meditations, don't have to listen to me talk the whole time. Eventually, we'll get to that. That's probably going to happen next month once we're done with all the practices, because I'm going to go through them and do them again, and then yeah, blah blah blah, write the descriptions, etc. So this is the description of the Holy Love 3 meditation from the Reiki manual for specifically Holy Fire Reiki, which is one type of Reiki that I practice. So, and if anyone has questions about Reiki or classes or anything like that, go to my website, send me an email. I got you. So in this experience, so in the Reiki manual, the experiences they're referring to are meditations. So that's just the word that they're calling it. So in this experience, holy love takes a person back into the time of conception, gestation, birth, and post-birth. The purpose of this experience is to heal everything needing healing from the time of conception to post-birth. This can include things that were going on in between and with the parents, ancestral issues, which who doesn't have them, because who doesn't? Experiences in the womb and birth trauma. And like I said, it could be tiny little trauma, it could be crazy big trauma, like maybe you had to have a C-section. That sounds normal, and it is. A lot of people have had them, but you had to be put to sleep. There's so much to that. It's very, the body picks up a lot more than maybe we can experience consciously. So, um, yeah, just putting that out there. Experiences in the womb and birth trauma. Sometimes a student slash you guys, the people taking this meditation, this is just from the teaching manual. So sometimes we are aware of what has happened, and sometimes we may not know what specifically has healed, but it was something meaningful. Um, so yeah, that's how we imagine it. So then, for our practice tonight, like I said, we're going to be lying down. So we're going to get into the actual meditation now. It's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. I'll be talking and guiding us through the visualization for about 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll just be in silence for you to have your own inner experience, and then I'll call you back. For this, I think it would be really nice to have relaxing music in the background, um, some singing bowls, some chimes, drums, whatever like floats your boat. Um, probably something not with lyrics, but yeah, find some music if you want to get that available. Otherwise, you can just meditate in the silence, and that is great too. And the silence gives us a lot of information sometimes. So, whatever works for you. And I'll give everyone about a minute and a half to get comfy and cozy. And if you're watching this later, yeah, just you can press pause, get your music, get your water, get everything you need. I encourage you guys also to have a notebook and maybe when you come out of the experience, just writing down any like random stuff that came up or things you want to remember, or maybe you had a vision. Oh, I saw the color purple in my mind's eye. Like just writing that stuff down. Because oftentimes it's like a dream. We remember when we come out and you're like, wow, that was cool. And then we just forget. So I think it's important to document. And yeah, I encourage everyone to have a journal if they don't already. But yeah, I'll give everyone about 30 more seconds. And then we're going to close our eyes lying down. And if everyone hasn't already, you can close your eyes. Just placing your hands wherever is most comfortable on your body. If you want to rest your hands on your stomach, or you could have your hands against your side. Just get comfy, cozy. We're going to take 5 slow, deep breaths together. So, breathing in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. So, breathing in, exhale, breathing in, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Final breath, breathing in and release. And this is the Holy Love 3 experience. Continue to breathe at your own pace, deepening your breath as you relax. Maybe just moving your hips a little bit back and forth in a circle, circling your wrists in one direction and the next, stretching out your feet and your toes wide and relax. Stretching out your mouth, your jaw just wide, as if you're screaming so loud. Just stretching your jaw out, releasing some of that tension. Shaking your head from side to side and up and down. Bringing your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath. And resting your head. And again, just do your best to follow along with the words I am describing. Imagine it is a beautiful sunny day. And imagine you are walking through a forest, feeling your feet against the ground. What would it feel like to be in the forest? What's the temperature? What time of day is it? As you breathe into yourself, imagine now that you are breathing in the life essence of the forest, the energy, the vibration of the forest. Each step that you take, feel the energies of the earth flowing up through the bottoms of your feet. As you walk along, allow yourself to experience the nature surrounding you, noticing the trees, any plants, flowers, grass, moss, beginning to merge your energy with the life, harmony, stillness, the peace of the forest. Taking a deep breath here and release. Continuing to walk along, you notice up ahead the air is shifting. The sky is getting lighter. As you realize you're coming to the edge of the forest. As you begin to exit the forest, before you is a beautiful river. This is the river of life. There are flowers growing along the riverbank, and there's a beautiful path following directly alongside the river. Walking closer, you begin to follow the path that leads across the river. Listening to the sound of the river flowing, the wind against your hair and your skin, droplets of mist from the river. And you watch as the river flows right alongside you. Continuing your breath. Eventually, you come now to a bend, a twist in the river. And there's a breeze blowing. As you notice, the surface of the river has small ripples flowing with the wind. And the sun is shining off of the surface of the water, creating the most beautiful, glittering, shimmering light. And of course, this is no ordinary light, but it's a spiritual healing light coming from the highest of heavens, highest of the cosmos, down to earth, down to the river. And you see this light surround you, allowing it to heal you, entering your spirit, your soul, allowing the light to guide you. We're going to stay here about 5 to 10 minutes, allowing you to have your own inner experience. So continuing on, allowing the light to guide you. going to take 5 slow, deep breaths at your own pace, breathing in through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Whenever you're guided to do so with the pace that feels okay for you, no rush, you can begin to bring your awareness to your body, to your eyes. When you're ready, slowly begin to open your eyes and come back to the room you are in. I invite you to take like 5 minutes, slowly come back, write up down anything that came up in the meditation. And if you can, just allow yourself to gently come back into your day or go to sleep if you're watching this at night. So I hope everyone had a beautiful meditation. I'm always curious about your experience, so if you feel like commenting or sending me a message or an email, I'd love to hear about it. The dogs totally loved it. They were sleeping the whole time, so that's amazing. She just got super comfortable and is now snoring, so I think the Reiki was working with her too. But thank you for joining me. Oh my gosh, she is snoring. That's so funny. All right, y'all. That was beautiful. I feel very relaxed now. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to listen back to this one and see what comes up for me personally. And, with these Reiki meditations, like even if you've done them a million times, like if you're someone that's taken Holy Fire Reiki, it's always different every single time. So that's so powerful and beautiful. She is snoring so loud. Okay, can you guys hear it on the? Oops, can you hear it on the stream? I don't know if you can. All right, y'all. Love you. See you in tomorrow's practice, and yeah, tomorrow we're gonna get into some inner child stuff. So get ready for some beautiful healing experiences, and I'll see you soon. Good night. Bye.